The July 28th, 2020 meeting of the Marion County School Board is called to order. Ms. King, could you read our motto?
Marion County School District Governance Team. If we chose one word to describe us, it would be student-centered, because student success is our mission. When we come together to work, we are efficient, effective, and productive. Our three most important characteristics are dedicated, transparent, and individually responsible. To work well together, we must demonstrate respect, confront reality, and be accountable. We will always put students first, and we will leave a legacy of success.
For the courtesy of those listening to the meeting, I request everyone in the audience to please turn off your electronic devices or to put them on vibrate. Later in the meeting, up to 30 minutes will be provided for individuals to address the board on matters concerning the operation of the Marion County school system or the school board only. Presentations to the board are limited to 5 minutes and are televised. If you wish to address the board regarding a regular agenda item or matters on which the board customarily takes action, you must first complete a peach form located on the table in the hallway. If you wish to address the board regarding a public hearing or a student discipline matter, please complete the lime green form. These forms must be fully completed and received by the board secretary no later than 5:40 p.m. The procedures applicable for each are on a separate sheet. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mrs. Nancy Stacy, District 1. Here. Mrs. Beth McCall, District 2.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly King, District 5.
Here.
Mrs. Nancy Thrower, District 4.
Here.
Mr. Eric Cummings, District 3.
Here.
Dr. Diane Gullett, Superintendent.
Here.
Ms. Suzanne Green, School Board Attorney.
Here.
Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Superintendent Gullett.
Thank you, Chairman Cummings, members of the board. With the exception of item C 18.2, personnel items 2020-2021 fiscal year, which has been placed under discussion, I recommend approval of the agenda for the July 28, 2020 school board meeting with the materials in the board packet, those materials distributed to board members at the meeting, and the audio recording included as part of the official record of the meeting.
May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Thrower,
Second.
seconded by Ms. McCall. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the April 23rd, 2020 administrative briefing and work session?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. King,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Thrower. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? There being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Unanimous. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the April 28th, 2020 school board meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. McCall,
Second.
seconded by Ms. King. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? There being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Unanimous. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the April 30th, 2020 special board meeting, school board meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. McCall, seconded by Ms. King. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? There being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Unanimous. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the May 5th, 2020 special school board meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. McCall, seconded by Ms. King. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? There being none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. I'll now ask the school board's attorney to explain the rules governing persons who wish to address the school board tonight.
In compliance with Section 286.0114 Florida statutes, the school board has adopted uniform procedures for public speakers who wish to speak at tonight's meeting, either with regard to one of tonight's agenda items or a matter related to the operations of the school district. These procedures will ensure the public has a reasonable opportunity to be heard on school board and school district matters. A written summary of these procedures is available from the table in the hallway. Public speaker forms are also located on the same table. The completed forms were due to the school board secretary no later than 5:40 p.m. Tonight's speakers will be called prior to the business portion of the school board's meeting in the order of receipt by the school board secretary. Before you begin speaking, please state your full name and address for the record and spell your last name. Each speaker will have 5 minutes of time. However, if there are more than 5 persons who wish to speak, the board may seek consensus to limit each speaker's time to 3 minutes. When the speaker has 1 minute remaining, the speaker will receive a visual notice to complete his or her comments. Speakers may not yield their time to others. Speakers and meeting attendees are expected to conduct themselves in a respectful manner. Therefore, verbal attacks and profanity are strictly prohibited. Pursuant to the procedures for public comments, item 6, speakers are not to identify specific individuals other than themselves or their child unless the statement is provided 24 hours in advance. If there are matters dealing with student discipline, to include expulsions, they will be scheduled at the conclusion of the televised portion of this meeting. Parents may address the board regarding a discipline matter at that time. To ensure student privacy, only a parent or guardian may use a student's first or last name, identifying references to or identification of other students and/or their families is strictly prohibited. Thank you for your attention.
Madam Secretary, how many speakers?
We have 2 now and then 2 for the public hearing for the Iron Charter School.
Okay.
John Stackman.
Jack Stackman, legal name is John. Spelling the last name, Stackman. 15109 Northeast 248 Ave Road, Salt Springs. Good evening, Reverend Cummings, board members, Dr. Gullett. Welcome to Marion County, Dr. Gullett. This is only the second time I've ever spoken at a board meeting, so I'm a little bit off edge. Tonight, you're going to be voting on and approving your resolution 20-06. What I want to speak about is the exceptions. Section 4B. Persons for whom a face covering could cause impairment due to an existing health condition. This exception requires a physician's note said individual has a condition that would be impaired. That's great. I sent all of you a email, rather lengthy email now that I look at it. I talked about calendar, MCPS online, transportation, teachers and other staff, and child who presents as ill. What I specifically want to talk about because of the mask exception is transportation. Watching the work session last week, I heard a couple of things said by the speaker that concerned me. I believe her name is Becky Rohr. She said the bus will be loaded by placing the first on in the rear of the seats. Then she said the first row will be reserved for the youngest kids. I agree, that is where they should be. The K through 2 kids do not need to hear the language of the bigger kids. I got a story about that, what my second grader told me the boys in the back were saying. She went on to discuss how the driver will handle a child been sent home for 10 days but appears at the bus stop before 10 days have elapsed. Guess where that child's placed? You know what she said. That child goes right beside the K through 2 kid in the front seat. And it gets even better. Although the policy is everyone wears a face cover, when distancing is not possible, as distancing is not possible on a school bus, a child who refuses to wear a face cover will also be seated in the front row. This is insane. MCPS needs to know which children have valid medical reasons for not wearing a face mask before school starts. Before school starts, bus transportation must be arranged separately for said child. what I heard said at that work session is there's going to be 3 groups of kids, possible groups of kids, in that front seat. The littlest kindergarten, first and second grade kids, along with possibly a kid who shows up who was sent home the previous day or the previous few days. He's going to show up. And you were told that he had to be transported because you couldn't leave him at the bus stop. Plus, that kid who refuses to wear a mask. All of those kids are going to be in those front rows. If this isn't resolved before August 24th, my granddaughter will not be riding the bus. I will take it on ours to make the 30-mile round trip to get her to school and back. I don't know how many other parents feel the same way, but that's how I will feel. Going into a separate item that, if I got a few minutes, what visual signal do I have that I only got 1 minute?
30 seconds.
I can't see it, I have bad eyesight. In the email I sent to you, I talked about the additional bus cleaning. Is the driver going to take the spray bottle and wipe down every seat at every bus stop? Because as the kids walk down the aisle, they're going to be touching these seat backs. You know that. It's going to happen. So is the bus driver doing that at every stop? And how much extra time is that going to add to the bus ride? And I'm asking you if bell times are being adjusted due to that, because the bus ride, in my estimation, for my granddaughter would be 15 minutes longer at least. It's a half-hour to 40-minute ride now. So is she going to be on the bus for nearly an hour?
Thank you.
I just ask you to consider those. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deckman. And let me do address something real shortly. Ms. Rohr, I think she has probably reached out to all the other board members, I hope she has. But she did reach out to me concerning your email, because she got it. So she is working on some other things, so stay tuned. Hopefully by Thursday, we'll have some of those things worked out. Thank you for the concern that you showed in that situation.
Ms. Chandra Sai?
What was her name again?
Chandra Sai?
Don't bring her in if she's still in the lobby. Teresa White did that.
Going to do it between, aren't we? That's okay. We need to make it somewhere where it's more visible.
Jack, we're all in training.
Hello, my name's Praful Singh, S-I-N-G-H. My address is 11810 Southeast 55th Avenue, Bellevue, Florida. I teach at Bellevue High School and been with the county since 1996. I have severe COPD. Since I've been with the county, I've had 2 major attacks. Both times I've been hospitalized, placed in ICU, and nearly died. I've missed months of school, and I had to obtain my doctor's permission to return to work because of the Family and Medical Leave Act. All this is in my record and can be documented. Since this happened prior to the coronavirus, I'm sure if I was exposed to the coronavirus, I would die. Therefore, I'm very concerned about the county's policy regarding the wearing of face mask in the classroom. I've been in communication with my principal about these concerns. In Friday's July 17th edition of the Star Banner, they had an article which stated the county implemented a face covering mandate of all employees, students, and visitors at schools, in which if parents insist their child not wear a mask, then they will have to put their child in online school. It then quoted Miss Stacy as saying, "Take your child to school with a face covering or have online school, period." When I read that, I felt immediate relief because my understanding from the article was that face masks would be required on campus at all times, including the classroom. Therefore, I was shocked when I went to the county's webpage and saw the July 20 update state, quote, "Students will not be expected to wear masks or face shields in the classroom," unquote. That same day, I emailed the superintendent my concern over the conflicting data. The following day, they changed the update to read, "Masks or face shields are required when social distancing is difficult or not possible." We now know the primary purpose of wearing a face mask is to prevent someone who's infected from spreading the virus. We also know that even if someone who's not infected is wearing a face mask, they still have a 35% chance of catching the virus. That's greater than 1 in 3 chance. We have seen this for ourselves when the Marion Technical College students contracted COVID-19 while wearing a face mask. We've also learned that up to 45% of COVID-19 infections may be asymptomatic, and that plays a major role in the spread of the virus. Therefore, science has shown that asymptomatic students not wearing a face mask in classroom is literally putting everyone's life at risk. Governor DeSantis has stated that young adults are driving Florida's rapid rise in the coronavirus cases. As a high school teacher, I will be dealing with these young adults on a daily basis. There's no way to know if one of my students will be asymptomatic. If there is an asymptomatic student in my room, they will not be coughing or sneezing. Therefore, droplets are not my main concern. The EPA released an article, Indoor Air and Coronavirus, which stated there is growing evidence that this virus can remain airborne for longer times and further distances than originally thought. There's a possibility that spread of COVID-19 may occur via airborne particles in indoor environments, in some circumstances beyond the 2 meters range. EPA recommends precautions to reduce the potential of airborne transmissions of the virus. These precautions include wearing cloth face coverings or masks. The Department of Homeland Security released a master question list of COVID-19, which stated the potential for airborne transmission was detected up to 4 meters, about 13 feet, from ICU patients in bed, and that may be spread through conversation and exhalation. On July 23rd, the CDC updated their guidelines for K through 12 school administrators on the use of cloth face coverings in schools. In it, they state, when used consistently and correctly, cloth face coverings are important to help slow the spread of COVID-19. Cloth face coverings are recommended as a simple barrier to help prevent respiratory droplets from traveling in the air and onto other people when the person wearing the cloth face covering coughs, sneezes, talks, or raises their voice. Cloth face coverings are an example of source control. Several studies have documented asymptomatic and pre-symptomatic transmission, meaning that people with COVID-19 who never develop symptoms and those who are not yet showing symptoms can still transmit the virus to other people. Cloth face coverings are meant to protect other people in case the wearer is unknowingly infected. A face cloth covering helps prevent a person who's sick from spreading the virus to others. Therefore, I'm confused. There does not seem to be a consistent policy regarding the wearing of face masks in the classroom. Are students going to be required to wear face masks in the classroom, or is the county going to allow students to endanger my life? Isn't requiring a face mask to be worn in the classroom a reasonable accommodation under the American with Disabilities Act? It places no undue hardship on anyone. Florida's Second Judicial Circuit Court Judge John Cooper has already ruled regarding the requirements of wearing face masks. He said, "I find that this ordinance does not violate any constitutional rights." Let me close with this. Would you feel 100% safe being in a classroom for 110 minutes with an asymptomatic student not wearing a face mask? Please remember, there are those of us who are very high at risk, and our lives are literally in your hands. If you're going to err, please err on the side of caution and set district-wide policy requiring face masks without exhaust valves to be worn in the classroom. Thank you for your time. And I'll email you a copy of this with all the references.
Thank you, Mr. Singh.
Have a nice day.
You know, the only comment I'd like to make would be, I would hope that our students, especially our high school students, if they have a teacher that is a little conflicted, you know, for this, underlying health issues, I would like for us to teach them how to wear a mask and a shield, as a respectful thing for their teachers. I have a family member my grandson's been wearing a shield. He loves it. He just loves it. He's got little mask face that he's put on it. And I haven't worn one, but I've been told that they're really very easy to see through. And I would really like for us to have a discussion about encouraging, especially the high school students that may be transmitting this illness more because they are adults, that they wear both a mask and a shield, just out of courtesy. And I honestly think that they probably will. I think they probably will. So, sir, thank you for coming to us and sharing your concern, because I am also concerned for you.
As the whole board is, and the superintendent, we're all concerned about,
Well, I haven't been able to sleep.
not just you, but every staff member.
We are. We talk about it all the time.
We're concerned.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mrs. Singh.
Since we're on this
Go ahead.
discussion, because I know we're getting ready to approve the mask resolution, and I have been made aware that even though this board has clearly stated that students and, employees will wear the mask, it's made it back to me that it's not so the case. So I think we need to be very clear with our message. I don't know if Dr. Gullett or Mr. Cummings, if you would like to reiterate how, what this policy stands for, and that we are going to follow through with what we said on there. So,
Right. We didn't, I don't remember us coming up with this policy or this resolution just for it to be paper. There was supposed to be some teeth behind it. I'm sure Dr. Gullett agrees, and every board member here agrees. This, much thought was put into putting this resolution out because of safety. So every staff member, every parent that's listening to us tonight, please know that this is serious business. This is not just an A, B, or multiple choice decision. This is life or death decisions. And we need everybody to do the right thing, and they want to be held accountable. We expect to see staff with the mask. We expect to see the students with the mask. And I'm grateful that they came to try to get clarity on some of these issues with it, because I think it did say that where social distancing wasn't possible, masks were mandated. Is that how I remember it? Is that how you guys remember it?
I think what's scaring people about that, though, is they're assuming that little children, we know that our teachers they were gonna be wearing masks. But I think because of the way we articulated it, it sounds like even in little classes that but little children can't socially distance because they just can't. And so, they don't even know how far 6 feet is.
Well,
So
the
I think-
resolution wasn't optional.
correct, it's not.
It's not
And
optional.
just for clarity, there has been professional development or something where adults have been in close proximity of one another and masks were not worn. And so we're just going to put that out there, that this board is serious, that you will wear your mask, and I hope the principal
Or
is
it's insubordination if it's staff.
correctly. So,
Because if the children watch adults, and if they see an adult getting by with it, they're gonna certainly try to get by with it. And so, because children watch us.
Yes, so we need to lead by examples. That's what we need to be doing as adults. We need to lead by example. We can't expect someone to do something that we're not doing it. And that's why you see every one of us in here in this room has a mask on, because we understand the severity of the situation. So parents understand that we feel that this is a serious situation, and we need those kids to wear the mask. And staff, I know you understand how serious we are about this. That's not to be mean or threatening or anything like that. It's about what it is. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Dr. Gullett.
Thank you, Chairman Cummings. Members of the board, I would like to just reiterate as the superintendent your sentiments. This is why we proposed the resolution, to put this in writing and to make this not just in paper only, but in practice, and I agree with the modeling. And as a reminder to the board and to the public that We took a step forward on this proactively because our county and our city did not require this. And in most districts, they were in line with what the city or the county did. And we said, no, we take this very seriously. These are our students, these are our employees. And so we took a stand forward on that for a reason, and we do take this very seriously. I've been out visiting schools and summer school, as I know you all are as well, and I'm finding that the staff that I've been seeing are wearing them. Students are wearing them beyond social distancing. They're just getting very comfortable wearing them, and hope that this will be a practice that we continue, and expect that it will, and we will follow up and make sure that in all training it is occurring with our adults. We need to model that, and again, we will ensure that we're practicing this.
Yeah, because staff are gonna be going back to school, going back to work in a few days. Some are already, they need to definitely know, so.
And there is the confusion, I think, because people are like constantly think they have to wear it. Well, if you're in a classroom and you don't have any students, or you can social distance, you can remove your
Right.
mask.
Right.
And that's when it is okay. But I just think if it's new, I don't know if it's just, people just not wanting to do it. But I'm glad that we had this conversation tonight, because I think our community is maybe getting mixed messages from the board and what may be occurring in their school.
And there is so much research now that shows that wearing the mask helps prevent the aerosols from going out. And so, if anybody questions that, I am happy to send you some information, especially the performing arts webinar that I attended. It was very, very clear.
Correct. Correct.
I mean, even if it only helps 10%.
I think it helps more than
Then-
that.
No, but I'm saying, even if it did, do it for other people. It just doesn't matter whether it's 10%, 60%, 80%, whatever it is. If it helps one person not to contract this, then that's a good American and good citizen.
I'm sorry.
I feel for the gentleman that just came before us, and I want to clarify and ensure that teachers that have underlying health conditions that really are putting themselves at risk, at greater risk, what their options truly are, and that they're communicated to every single teacher in that category. As a teacher myself, there's nothing better than being physically in a classroom and present with your kids. And it's sad to think that you might, for your own good, need to do something different. And I just want to make sure, if that ends up being a high-risk teacher's decision, that as much as possible, we can give them options that will help them stay safe. And this conversation just illustrates to me all over again why so many schools all over the country are deciding not to open a traditional model at all at the start of the school year. So to me, that's another opportunity to look the community dead in the eye right now and say, if you intend to send your child back to school, please be ready for, and this is one of the beneficial things about having this challenge, is that behaving well in school, being a good American, being a good citizen, doing the right thing for someone else, even if it's a little bit inconveniencing for you, it should always be expected, always has been expected, but it's going to be even more expected now. This is not the time, to bring junk behavior back to school with you if you're going to participate successfully in the traditional model. We need everybody to step up.
I did call a daycare this week, just out of my own curiosity. I just wanted to speak to someone, and I won't say, of course, but it's a very well-known daycare here that's been around since I've been in Ocala for 40 years. I think that daycare's been there. And she said that they've never closed down. They've been open the whole time. And she said that I don't remember if she even told me they've even had one case. Maybe she even told me they haven't had any. But she said they just do a lot of sterilizing and stuff. And she said they do the best they can with the children, but they can't keep children 6 feet apart because they don't know how far 6 feet is. But she said the daycare, she said, never closed down. And it's not she said normally they've got, I think she told me they've got like 10 less kids than they normally have in it because parents haven't sent them back. But just to give everybody a little hope, their daycares are doing well, from what she told me.
Not all of them.
They're not, well, I just talked to one.
And the reason I can say not all of them, personal experience, my granddaughter's daycare was closed down because a 9-month-old tested positive.
Yeah.
So they had to shut it down.
I just
So
talked-
there are some that are doing well because they just haven't, by the grace of God, haven't been touched. But we don't know when it's gonna get, when one will get touched, but the thing is for us to enforce this mandate, and like, the governor did say last week that we need to have options for our staff. So we're anticipating hearing something about those on this week at our work session. So, listen, these staff members, whether they're teachers, whether they're bus drivers, and I need you guys to understand, we have staff currently that have corona, that have contracted this illness. And daily, we're getting reports. Daily, we're getting these numbers. So we can't say that, we can't just think that it's not going to touch Marion County Public Schools. It already has in a major way. So we need to mitigate this as much as we can, lessen every chance of getting it. And if wearing a mask is going to lessen the probability of someone getting it, wear the mask, wear the mask, wear the mask. Please wear the mask. Parents, please, this is not a time to have your own agenda. This is just a time for safety. This is a time for safety. Kids, wear your mask. So, thank you. May I have a motion to adopt the revised committee members and procedures for the Operation Manuals Committee? Moved by Ms. King,
Second.
seconded by Ms. McCall. All in favor? Oh, seconded. Superintendent.
The revised committee members and procedures for the Operations Manual Committee complies with the board policy and the Florida statutes.
I declare a public hearing. Is there anyone, wait a minute. I declare a public hearing. Is there anyone present who wishes to address the revised committee members and procedures for the Operation Manual Committee? Any discussion? All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Unanimous. May I have a motion to adopt the initial charter contract for Ina A. Colon Academy?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Torres, seconded by Ms. McCall. The superintendent.
The initial charter contract for Ina A. Colon Academy complies with board policy and Florida statutes.
I declare a public hearing. Is there anyone present who wishes to address the initial charter contract for Ina A. Colon Academy?
I have two speakers.
Two speakers, okay.
Kay Flyshaker?
Ms. Flyshaker, would you just wipe that off real quick?
I'm sorry, you want me to wipe it off?
Yeah.
I can do that,
Thank you.
before and after.
Well, the after didn't happen, so it'll be the before now. Practice makes perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Kay Flyshaker. The last name is Fleischchaker. My address is 2020 Southeast 15th Lane. Thank you for the opportunity of letting me come and speak to you tonight. I moved to Marion County fresh out of college in 1979 with a master's degree in counseling. I then spent my entire career, 36 years, as an elementary counselor right here in Marion County. I retired in 2015. I hope this tells you how invested I am in this community. Now I come to you as a board member of the Ina A. Colon Academy. I want to tell you why I chose to be part of this school. Look at the vision and mission statement. It talks about hearts and minds, everyone belongs, individuality, diversity, understanding, empathy for others. Doesn't that sound like a model for counseling? I'm in. Well, then page 1 and page 2. In the charter, we talk about social emotional learning for both students and staff, as well as the core of the Ina A. Colon Academy. A whole school approach for families to feel as much a part as do their children. Oh,
Be Still My Heart. It's right in my alley. And then under Culture and Discipline on page 64, we talk about compassion for others, courage to act on their beliefs, and to become problem solvers. Well, I'm totally in, hook, line, and sinker. During my career, I became fairly famous for my career education events. Our goal as educators is not unlike every business. Our job is not only to educate, but to help children become successful people in society. That is our future, the citizens of the future. And I believe that Ina A. Colon Academy will do just that. I want to thank you for letting me have the time tonight, and Stephen Ayers and the committee that both assisted in reviewing the charter application and contract. As a board member, I look forward to our relationship. We are excited about this opportunity to provide a high-quality choice option for the students of Marion County, and of course, to be a partner with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
She is well-trained, isn't
I
she?
can tell she comes from the schools.
That's it.
Keep it clean. You've been doing it all these years anyway.
I remember the rules.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Kenneth Colon?
Mr. Chairman, board members, Superintendent Gullett, thank you. It's a pleasure to be before you today. I can't follow that act. It's not an act. She speaks from the heart, Kay does. And we are so pleased to be able to work with this board and with your staff in helping Ina A. Colon Academy become a reality today. So thank you all very much for your support. We look forward to working together, partnering on this, and moving ahead. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you, Ken. What a milestone for the family.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We've heard all public comments, and we've been properly moved. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 20-03, a resolution of the School Board of Marion County, Florida, condemning racism and affirming the district's commitment to an inclusive school environment for all.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. McCall,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Storer. Any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 20-06, a resolution of the School Board of Marion County, Florida, requiring all persons that work, attend, visit, or enter upon school district property to wear face coverings on all school property to stop or slow the spread of the novel coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. King. Seconded by Ms. Stacy. Any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items C 9.1 through C 20.1 with the exception of item C 18.2 that has been placed on discussion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. McCall,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Stacy. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Item C 18.2 personnel items 2020-2021 fiscal year. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. McCall,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Stacy. Ms. King, I understand you pulled this item.
I did pull this item. I pulled it actually for Ms. Thrower and myself.
Thank you.
On there, our names are on there for a leave of absence for being elected officials, and statute has changed now, so we are not allowed to vote even if it is in a lump. So tonight, I will be abstaining, and so will Ms. Thrower. I'm speaking for both of us. She's looking at me, she knows what I'm talking about, so.
Absolutely. If you wouldn't have pulled it, then I was gonna, so.
Okay,
It all
good.
worked out.
So,
Abstain, why?
because it's new this year, so if you're voting on yourself, because we're in there for taking a leave of absence from our schools, So we can't vote on that. Also, like, for example, if we have a family member on there, we would have to abstain also. So it's new this year, so that's why we'll be abstaining from this vote.
I'll need you and Ms. Thurr to get the recusal form. I think Terry has some, so that you can fill it out. So it has to be submitted with the board docs.
Okay,
She has
Sure.
a form.
We can do that.
Thank you.
So, for the record, Board Member Thrower and Board Member King are recused from this vote on this personnel items. So, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's 3. Unanimous.
Thank you, y'all.
We got your back.
Thank you.
And maybe just for clarity, so the community understands what we just did, both Ms. King and I were employed by the school system before we were elected, so it doesn't make sense for us to vote ourselves to continue our leave of absence from our school jobs.
Thank you for that clarity, and thank you for being transparent and doing the right thing. Following along. May I have a motion to approve the following cash or tangible donations that have a total value of $52,061.58. $2,500 to Bellevue High School from Spruce Creek Golf and Country Club. $1,000 to Dunellen Elementary School from Marion Soil and Water Conservationist District. $1,000 to Dunellen Middle School from Marion Soil and Water Conservationist District. $1,000 to Forest High School from First. $2,000 to Hillcrest Public School from Marion Service Roofing and Sheet Metal Company. $2,461.58 to Hillcrest Public School from United Way of Central Ohio via pass-through of Public Education Foundation of Marion County. 9,000 face masks valued at $27,000 to the Marion County Public Schools Student Services, Psychological Services, Social Work Services Department from Marion County Health Department. 20 large round hay rolls valued at $1,000 to North Marion High School from the Fields Farm. $3,600 to Silver River Museum from Florida Humanities Council. $3,500 to Silver River Museum from the Cannon Law Firm. $7,000 to Stanton Wearsdale Elementary School from Santiago Women's Club.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. McCall, and thank you for the second, Ms. Thor. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Ms. McCall, since you were so fast on the gun.
Actually, you know, when I look at this list
I know, it's
and
so-
think about what our school district, our community, our state, our nation has gone through, and I still see $52,000 given to our schools, that is remarkable. That really is remarkable. So thank you to all that continue to understand the need for your commitment to our students. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A special board meeting is scheduled for July 30th, 2020 at 9 a.m. The purpose of this board meeting is to discuss reopening of schools. The next regular administrative briefing and work session is scheduled for August 6, 2020 at 9:00 a.m. The purpose of the work session is to discuss Budget General Fund 1 of 3. The following administrative briefing and work session is scheduled for August 13th, 2020 at 9 a.m. The purpose of the work session is to discuss capital budget, includes 5-year work plan and remaining funds 2 of 3. Osceola Middle School and North Marion High School cafeteria updates. Ms. Elena, you have any comments tonight?
Thank you.
Attorney Green?
I have nothing, thank you.
Dr. Gullett?
Yes, sir, thank you. Chairman Cummings, members of the board, I wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to just once again say thank you. Thank you to the board for your leadership and guidance. Thank you to our community. When we have speakers come and through the emails and the contacts that we're hearing from, we're getting great feedback and really innovative ideas. So I just want to say thank you again. We've learned a lot from hearing from people who are experts in their fields and thinking differently. I believe that I shared with the team today where challenges come opportunities, and we're learning to think differently and work differently and collaborate. And so I think it's really important to say that. I also want to say a few words about our wonderful staff out there in the summer programs. I know we've mentioned it before. We're focusing a lot right now on reopening, but we have a phenomenal team out in the field. Our administrators, our teachers, our support staff, and our custodial staff are out there, and they have the biggest smiles on their faces, and they have just jumped right in the middle of all of this reopening, and are doing a phenomenal job of not only embracing our students' return, but making sure they have a safe place to learn and welcome them back and providing a really smooth transition. So I just really want to thank all of them at the schools for all the incredible hard work that they're doing. So thank you, and we look forward to bringing some more information this week at on Thursday to talk about how we support our employees and help to make sure that they feel safe and what the opportunities are for them.
Thank you, Dr. Gullett. We're going to switch it up a little bit tonight. Ms. Stacy?
Yes, I just want to make a comment about some information that teachers have come back to me with, and something to, I guess, for Dr. Gullett. The teachers worked really, really hard to learn the Google Classroom, and they were excited. They put a lot of their own time in learning Google Classroom. And now they're going to, when they come in for training, they're going to learn the Microsoft Team program. And they're talking to me and talking to one another, and I've gotten some phone calls about this, to spend 16 hours to learn something new from someone who's just now training on it this week themselves, so it's not been used. And so teachers are a little bit concerned about jumping into a new plan right out of the chute when they've already worked out a lot of the kinks of the Google Classroom. And so now they're going to use 16 hours of their training that we're fixing to do for them to use the Microsoft Team, but they're being taught by someone who's just now in the class herself learning the Microsoft Team, and it's not been tried by anybody yet. And she's concerned that there's going to be, she would just like for the district to maybe think about that if some want to use the Microsoft Team, but just not to make everyone do it. Because the word was that they could use one or the other, but now they're starting to hear that some schools are going to use one or the other. And I don't think we need to make it any more confusing for our teachers by throwing something brand new at them if we don't have to. And so let teachers kind of decide at the schools, you know, if this is what they're comfortable doing, if they feel they know it well enough. Kind of at the time when it's difficult for our teachers to maybe let the schools, the teachers at the schools, maybe together decide which way they're going to go, instead of pushing something brand new on them that it's just going to make the school year even more confusing for them. Thank you.
Great point, and I'll have the team look at it. We'll provide an update on Thursday.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Ms. Stacy. Ms. King?
Yes, I would just like to, next week, our employees will be returning, and I just want to tell everybody that is going to return, welcome back. We are so grateful for your service and your dedication to Marion County Public Schools, and we understand completely how challenging it is, but I have no doubt that we have the best people in the right places that are truly here for our children. And you guys, they just show everything constantly, and we're just grateful for that. Also, this afternoon, we received a little note from our EOC. There's a hurricane out there headed toward Florida right now, and it might be here Sunday at some point. So I'm just going to use this time, and it hopefully is nothing for Florida or Marion County, but just a friendly reminder that this is the time of year that when you want to prepare your home and prepare your family in the event that something like that should happen, because we all know, just even as our recent COVID outbreak, when you're looking for toilet paper and stuff, it can be a challenge and not fun. So maybe now, while there's water on our shelves and stuff like that, maybe use this time to do that. And again, remember to prepare your home, because if you can, you probably want to stay in your home and not go to shelters. And that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Ms. McCall?
Thank you. I, too, want to say welcome back to our staff that's coming. Just to comment on what Ms. Stacy was saying, I do understand that a lot of teachers learn Google Classroom. My concern would be using two platforms would be parents and students. If they transfer to a school that was using Microsoft Teams and then they have to transfer, for some reason, if they move out of district and now they're on Google Classroom. So I understand the concern from the staff point of view, but I really want us to think about what is best for our students and our parents that are working with MCPS online, so that we are such a transient population. Now, maybe that won't happen with MCPS online, and even if they move from the district, they can stay with the same school. I don't know that we've even had those conversations, but I really would hate for our students and parents to learn one and transfer to another. So I just think we need to really be very mindful and think about all of those solutions. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Storer?
Thank you. It continues, truly, it's too bad that it had to be under these circumstances to have this challenge, but I continue to be so thrilled and grateful for the community feedback, for the community input, for the community's connections to us. I think I'm starting to say this now at every meeting, but I'm going to hold you to it once this is over. That's what builds a very strong and effective public school system, is everybody communicating, getting on the same page, hashing out the differences and moving forward. So please know that every single piece of input is valued and considered, and I echo the other board members and Dr. Gullett. Welcome back again to the staff that has been working since schools closed in March, and then welcome back to everyone that is now coming back and ready to put their best foot forward in whatever capacity they work in. We're all on the same team, and you're all valued. So, and that includes the parents, the caregivers, the grandparents. We're all part of this same big community that's doing our best to make sure that we're mitigating as much risk as possible so that we can have the traditional model return to school. And I think that is very important for our community. It makes a big difference to have that available to so many. So with that, I'll just say thank you, and that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Storer. I'm going to be brief as well. Thank Ms. King for bringing up the hurricane. That was one of my concerns, and that is here we are in the midst of a pandemic, and we're about to be faced with the possibility of a hurricane heading this way. So, Superintendent Gullett, you have a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
You have a lot on your plate, and but we know that these are things that we have to deal with. We're charged with doing the right decision, making the right decision, and doing the best by our people. I too want to congratulate and thank all those folk that did work in summer school this year. Summer school ends this Thursday, and so we want to thank those that made it through these 3 weeks. It's been a soft reopening for us, and some trial and error things, some things that we saw that were good, some things that we saw that we had to tweak, and thank you for those, and then thank you for those that are coming right back on Monday to start this all over again for our kids. I do want our staff to know that we are concerned about each and every one of you. We are truly concerned about each and every one of you. Sometimes I think people think that we're only concerned about teachers or certain groups of people in the district. We're concerned about everyone equally. You all are part of our family, and if one of you hurts, all of us are hurting. So we're concerned about your safety as well as your family's safety. So again, I want to say please do everything that you can personally do. If every person did everything that they can personally do to be responsible for keeping themselves safe, you'll be keeping somebody else safe as well. So please heed to these guidelines. We're going to have a meeting on Thursday to discuss some additional things. And again, as I said before, we're trying to shoot at a moving target. People may not understand that analogy, but me coming from law enforcement, it's hard to shoot a moving target. And you just hope that you kind of luck up and hit it sooner or later. And I think we're hitting it more times than we're missing the target right now. So please be patient with this district as we move forward. Parents, there are a lot of parents out there that still have a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions. I'm sure you guys are getting tons and tons of emails daily, and we're trying to move them to the right people to get answered. And please continue to check the website for answers as things change, as things evolve. Some things are evolving. I got a new issue today that I want to talk to Superintendent and Mr. Villanello about. So please be safe. There are, and I said this earlier, we don't need to think that this virus is not going to hit Marion County Public School System. It already has. It has already hit our district. We have already had teachers going home. We've already had students going home. We've already had bus drivers and aides and custodians. All those people have been already affected. So please understand that. But we're going to do everything we can to mitigate this situation and keep our people safe. So just understand that we're still shooting at, we're still shooting. We still got bullets in our gun. We're still shooting at the moving target. We haven't stopped shooting yet. We're going to keep shooting until we keep hitting the target on a daily basis. So thank you, guys. Thank you. I thank this board for being flexible, our district being flexible, trying to make sure that we address these issues as they come up. So we're making a difference. I really believe that. Ms. Martinez-Lopez, are there any parents who have submitted timely requests to speak on their child's disciplinary matter?
Yes, we have 3 early reentries that will appear before us.
3, okay. Okay. So this is going to conclude the televised and business portion of this meeting, and we're going to recess. So this meeting is recessed at 6:36 p.m. to clear the room.